Okay.
What's this book?
Borders. Borders. This is the industry book. Explains things about
Border control?
yeah,
What
border
about there?
control,
Yes.
horticulture, yeah.
Oh, horticulture. Oh, so this is what freight forwarding, custom brokers read.
Yeah, in the back you got your shipping companies advertising as well. That's what it looks like, containers on a ship.
Oh, this is when the sea stuff goes out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm here today at Gavos Freight Solutions in West Meadows. Did I say that right? West Meadows? Actually, it's near Tullamarine Airport. I mean, where else would it be? Around the cargo place.
Next is Zagamis. Everyone knows Zagamis, the old age building, which is right.
Zagamis, isn't that
right
the one
there,
that
the
sells
car.
prestige cars?
Right,
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there.
Ah, it's right.
It used to be the old age building. They bought that off.
Oh, well, there you go.
So at least when people say, "Where are you?"
Next
we,
to
we,
Zagamis.
we say next to Zagamis or the old age building, which
Okay.
is off the freeway.
Well, I came off the freeway. I had to turn. My GPS said turn left next to McDonald's, and I went around that big building on the left, but you're actually on the right, around the corner.
That's right. We're on the good side, the better side.
The right side. Actually, that goes because we have been talking about the right way to bring stuff to Australia. So, Nick and Peter Gavos, the boys of Gavos Freight Solutions, just so that our audience know what you guys do, because I don't know what you do. I didn't know what you did. When I read Gavos Freight Solutions, that to me means, I don't know, they're bringing in big trucks, buses, airplanes, whatever, big shipping things. So obviously you're not going to deal with me. But now that we've spoken, actually people like myself can also use you to import stuff into Australia the right way.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I want to start off with the right way, because many people don't know the right way. And what the complexities involved and the legalities involved in bringing products here. So let's pretend I'm bringing, I'm going to open up a shop for christenings dresses and bridal wear, and I want to bring some designers stuff from Greece to Australia. How easy is it? How hard is it? Because obviously I've got no idea. All I know is I need to get a brokerage, a customs broker involved, because that's your expertise. So I need to know, I'm going to say to you, this is what I need to bring in, this is the business, this is where it's coming from. Can you do it? What happens then?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we specialise. Upon receiving the phone call, we'll probably request that everyone puts a little email to us so we can get a good understanding of what they're importing. So we can go through, the ins and outs of importations to see if it's permitted or not permitted into Australia. We have to go through all the customs regulations and legislation, and also quarantine, just to see that everything's above board. And when we see that everything's fine, then we can discuss the supply chain, the movement of that cargo. The beauty about us at GFS is that we do both. We're both freight forwarders and licensed customs brokers in-house.
So when you're saying freight forwarders, what's the difference between freight forwarders and custom brokers?
Okay, that's a very good question. A freight forwarder is involved in the movement of your cargo. The person who books the cargo, whether it's by air freight or by sea as a container, or as in a shared container as LCL. That's what a freight forwarder does, and the buck stops there up to the port. When the goods arrive into the country, they require a licensed customs broker like myself to facilitate that clearance through customs, collecting the right taxes and duties, and also through quarantine, and then the goods become clear and they are ready for delivery.
Okay, so my understanding now is I'll give you a call, you then liaise with the business or the company or wherever I'm getting the goods from overseas.
Yes.
As the freight forwarder, you will then take that to the port in Greece,
Yes.
wherever it's going to
We'll
be,
organise
or any
everything.
country around Europe. You don't just deal
Absolutely.
with Greece
Yeah.
only. And then you will also then facilitate when it hits our borders till it gets cleared.
Correct. So it arrives in Australia. It could be, we're licensed in the whole Commonwealth of Australia, states and territories. So therefore, it can come anywhere in Australia, and we can make that thing happen by going through the paperwork, all the cargo's declared properly. We've assessed everything. We do a due diligence to the customs, make sure we're collecting the correct taxes. Some free trade agreements are out there at the moment. We take advantage of those because we can to mitigate the duty. Once we're all happy and everything's above board, we pay the taxes out and the GST and all that important stuff to the government. Then the goods become free, and then it becomes a transport. They become no longer bonded. It's like walking through an airport in transit. You're only allowed to move around a certain place, but you're not allowed to come out.
Yes.
I'm the person that makes it come out.
Okay, so it's a one-stop shop basically. I don't have to
Correct.
go get a
No,
freight
one
forwarder,
phone call,
customs
one
and-
phone call,
one
no
phone call.
complex.
So how difficult would it be, let's say, if I'm bringing in garments from overseas? I mean, at the end of the day, they're just material. They're just dresses. They might have beads or not, or whatever the case may be, and they're coming to Australia. I mean, how hard could that possibly be? What could go wrong, and how do we know about taxes?
Okay, so again, you're sort of banking on my skill to pull up everything off my tariff that tells me on a daily basis. I know exactly what I should know what all the taxes are. At the moment, the current duty is 5% on the value of the goods of your commercial invoice, unless we have a free trade agreement in place that makes it 0. But we are also paying 10% GST on every importation that comes in. So they're the things that a licensed customs broker will calculate on your behalf. But just to answer your question about importation of garments, as simple as it might sound, we have to know composition. We need to know if it's woolen. We need to know if it's woven, knitted.
Why?
It's
material. Does
because
it just fall under material?
It is, but it goes to the ready-made items. Like a garment is a ready-made a garment, but we're also collecting information on a daily basis for the Australian Bureau of Statistics. So they want to know how many dresses come in that are woven. Because if you're a person who wants to open up a big company in Australia and you want to import dresses, you'll go to the ABS, the Australian Bureau of Statistics in Canberra, pay a fee. They will press a button from their database and it will tell you how many millions of dresses will come into Australia a year.
Wow.
And that will tell you whether it's worth investing into that country or not.
Oh, okay, so that's pretty
So
cool.
I'm doing a bit of data collection and they're banking on me for the government.
That's very good, actually.
And I have to
the
be
statistics.
precise. But if I can touch on the garment side also, there's people out there that may be doing the wrong thing, which is commerce markings,
What does that mean?
intellectual property, copies.
Oh, copies, okay.
So once they get into that becomes an issue with customs. So that's the things we need to be aware of. If it's the real McCoy or if it's a copy, that's why customs, when it comes to garments, they police it very heavily because of these things that happen, you know.
Is it just as
knockoffs.
complex if you bring in, let's say, oil? I'm just going to put it out there because recently I hear about a lot of oil coming in from Greece, different types of oils, different regions of Greece.
Mm-hmm.
That's a food item.
Food item a little bit more complicated because there's the starting point with customs, but there's also the quarantine on that one. Because it's a food item, it's for human consumption, and it's got to be commercially packaged. We need to satisfy that, and the best person in that department is not customs, it's Department of Agriculture, which is biosecurity.
Which you
And
also then have to work with.
Absolutely, and
Imported foods.
imported foods, and they come out, they check the labeling, the nutrition, they want to know what's in it. We can have a similar importation of peanuts in an item, not declared properly, and someone eats that peanut in there, can have complications and things like that.
So I don't have to worry about all that.
Not
Because
really.
obviously I've got no idea if I want to import something, taxes. I just basically leave that all up to you.
You leave that all up to us. We're the equivalent of a lawyer in our industry,
Yeah.
in the supply chain, and we're pretty much expected to know all the regulations. If we don't know, we'll do our research, obviously, but via phone, all you need to do is call me. I could be in the car and you could throw something at me. You're at night. A lot of people have a second little job and they might want to do something on the side by importing furniture, for example. And, they'll put a call into me at 7:30 at night and they'll say, Peter, is it okay to bring this type of wood from Bali?
Oh, okay.
Am
And then
I-
you take care of that.
I don't have my books in front of me. I don't have my computer.
okay.
And I'll just say, based on what I know of 34 years experience, the wood has to be treated fumigated, or else we're going to have complications.
Well, we know
with
that
it.
anyway, even if we even bring a small item to
Absolutely.
our
So they're the delays with quarantine. Not a customs issue, it's a quarantine issue.
So you can bring in anything from materials, cars, half aeroplane,
Yeah, well,
pieces to put together.
there's a lot of things you can bring in, and there's a lot of things you can't because of plant materials. You can't.
Oh,
Prohibited items you can't.
okay.
They're categorised on the customs. Nick will know he's studying now to become a licensed broker.
Yes, there's different schedules that cover
different
items.
schedules that cover different things. You've got to be careful with tobacco. That you need a permit for
Yeah.
tobacco.
Weapons as well.
You know, they're the things that you need to be careful of. That again, we always say get advice, seek advice, because over my 34 years of doing this business, Rula, the problem that I have is that the container's already on the water, and people tend to believe what other people say overseas. Yeah, that's fine. Put this car in the container and send it to Australia. It's right-hand drive. It's from England.
Yeah, I actually thought that's all it was.
Okay,
as
well, I can say to you, you can't do that. You know why? Because you need an import permit before that car comes out.
Wow.
Porsche Australia might say, I don't want you to bring that car in. Send it back.
Wow.
Harley Davidson motorcycle, same thing. Sorry, I won't give you the okay. Send it back.
Okay, the one thing that's come to my mind, and I guess a lot of people would think this if they're importing goods from overseas, you would have access to my information of what I'm bringing, what I'm paying for it, all that kind of stuff. And obviously there's competition out there, and how can I trust someone that I'm putting my life business in their hands? How can I trust you that you won't tell some other supplier that Rula's bringing in XYZ and this is all this is what she's paying for, this is what she's selling at? How can I trust you?
Okay, well, I can answer it in two ways. Firstly, I would like to answer that if you're bringing your personal belongings, I'll be asking for a copy of your passport. I'm not one that likes to give passport photos of myself to anyone because that's got all my information on there.
Yeah.
But because when I take on the job and I'm licensed by the Commonwealth government, it's all the confidentiality agreement between us both. It's like a doctor-patient relationship. I cannot disclose any information, even if your competitor asked me and begged me, I cannot disclose that because I'm actually breaking our contract. So if that starts at personal effects level, imagine to a complicated commercial where I know how much you're buying furniture or your cheese or wines for, that I cannot pass on that information to anyone because that's one of the things then that I'm going against my license, and I can easily lose my license for doing that. So I've got to show my compliance at the highest level and also my due diligence at the highest level. Good.
Look, you're an Australian company, all Australian, European family, Greek, Italian mix.
We've got a bit of mixture in this
Bit of
family.
mixture,
It's a
which is
family
so
business.
good, yeah.
Family business.
Family business, father and son. Nick, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Is it true that the federal government actually knows everything you do on your computers because of this line of work?
Very true. Every move that we make leaves little footprints in the digital system that we share with the ABF. So they know our every move, every time we log on, the time we log off, and they know in lifetime what we do.
Wow.
And how many times we can check something. So if we're checking a certain container too many times,
And we're not supposed to.
or it's got no relationship to us or anything that we're supposed to be dealing with, it's already a red flag for them. And
Wow.
they start their
So
investigation.
it actually falls under the federal government.
Absolutely,
Correct.
and it's no different to a police officer going in and checking someone's license plate when they're not supposed to because they put we're all logged in with our passports.
Ah, wow.
And they know Peter has been logged on at this time. Peter's checking a container at this time. Peter's not working on this container. Why?
Wow.
So we get a phone call right away. So you better please explain all.
So it's a trusted company, obviously.
You have to be. We're all under the trusted stuff because or else you wouldn't be able to do what we do, especially as a licensed customs broker. When I first started, there was I think a good 3,000 of us. When I started when I was 22, now I'm turning 57 this year. I think we've gone down to just under 1,000 now in the whole of Australia.
In the whole of Australia.
Whole of Australia.
And I know because when we spoke with Nick, and I did an interview with Nick, you were saying that we don't have enough custom brokers. I know we don't even have enough border controllers, let alone custom brokers. And
True.
you're very passionate and an advocate to try and get young to follow that career path.
Yes. That's the thing. The bottom end with the younger ones coming through, it's a bit of a struggle. We're going to try, as an industry, try and promote it out there by putting it out there to the universities now, pushing the diploma of customs out more in the university,
Wow.
so that way it can attract more students to become a licensed customs broker, because we need the services. We can't have these guys at 80, 90 years old forever. We need to turn the industry around a little bit. So we need to have that qualification.
Turning the business around, obviously you need like a board put together. Is there such boards that you can actually get involved in, where you can push to change the way of the awareness is created?
Well, we used to have the CBFCA before. Now they're called IFCABA. IFCABA now have amalgamated customs brokers and freight forwarders together to get that exposure that we were lacking before as licensed customs brokers. Because until today, even at certain parties that I go, I'm always asked what I do. And when I tell people I'm a customs broker, they think I do check your belongings at the airport.
But you don't do that, because that's not what you do. That's what are they called again?
That's a customs officer.
They're the customs officers, that's right.
You see them on television when they go through what's in your bag. What's in your bag.
Border
Okay,
security.
that's not what you do.
That's not what we do. We're the broker or agent in the middle. So we're the person who speaks to customs and the client. So we're representing the client. That's why I say we are like the lawyers in
Like
this
the lawyers in the industry.
Because, we speak to the customs at the highest level, and we get fancy with our lingo, and then we represent the client. If the client, might have done a little bit of a boo-boo, we try to get them off any fine that might come their way as well. So it's a two-way thing, provide the great advice, but then, I did this, can you represent me? Yeah, we're happy to represent you. And we do go to the highest courts in Australia. Many years ago, I can say that when I was young, now I'm older, I was able to be involved in a big case where we got nearly 800,000 back for a client of overpayment of taxes.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And we had to have, back in the day, QCs, now they're KCs. And there was a big group of us that we, pioneered it together. And we backed the client all the way. And it's made history, that case. So
I think it's the biggest case. Actually.
One of the biggest cases, Mermaid Australia. So they brought in the sunblinds, and we were part of that journey as well. So there's a small to medium business. We've done a lot of things along the way, where we've customs cleared the James Bond 50-year anniversary that came here.
Oh wow.
We had involvement. The biggest one I've done, customs clearance, people ask me, is the Learjet for Crown Casino, $23 million plane, which I had to customs clear, and I've never customs cleared something in the air as it was flying
And that was your
down.
first one?
That was my first one, because I've used to have things broken down in containers, on an aircraft, inside, never flying in the air that needed customs clearance. That took a little bit of complicated things to get through, but I must admit that I was so proud of myself that I did it, and I actually framed my customs entry.
That is really
I've
good.
got it on the back there of the
Good
office, and I go, because I like to show people, because every time I customs clear something, it leaves my license number on there and the company name.
That's nice.
So if I want to sell something to someone, what I've done, I can pull that up and confidently show them, rather than say, I did this. And so there it is, $23 million plane, 10% GST. Do the math how much GST they had to pay.
Wow.
There's a lot of money
That's a
there,
lot.
but it was duty free. That was the good thing about it. And this is for Crown Casino. And that was one of my big ones that I've done. But this industry is very exciting. I want to see more young people come through.
Well, you're going to still need to get involved with some board.
I do.
And be part of a board, because like recently we've had the Greek Centre, the new board that's been put together, and that's taken a different turn, because now it's more diverse. There's females involved as well.
That's great.
But what I was saying, I'm not saying that for your industry, but I'm trying to get to the people that have been put together in that board are so different from different areas, that it brings the different dynamics and the skill set to progress. And I guess with you know, Gavos, Freight Solutions, all these sort of companies, and you're saying there's only 1,000 now, to create more awareness, well, you need to create awareness for the young to become custom brokers, for
Of
one.
course.
You would be a great candidate to be put into such a board, rather than keeping the old people, not many age-wise, but people that have been in there for so many years. You know, you're progressing in the business.
Yep.
You're doing big things in the business, and a board would be great to have someone like you.
Well, look, I've offered my services, and I think it's going to happen. I know it will happen.
Fantastic.
If you don't door knock all the time, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm that guy with a little bag of door knocks all the time.
So how do you get into a board? Like, do you nominate yourself, or someone's got to nominate you? How does that work?
You can nominate yourself, but it'd be better if it comes through someone else, and then they'll have to put a whole thing about you, your experience, what you can offer.
Is this like someone from the existing board, or someone external?
Or it can be someone in the industry that's not on the board, or even on the board already. Well, obviously, will make it easier for you. And like the seats are very limited. It's not that they can add on and add
That's
on.
right.
You know, that's the
right.
thing. We might have in the next few years of people that are going to want to retire, and that could be a good opportunity. But if I do go on there, what I would like to do is reshape it all and get more involvement in the schools.
That would be
and
amazing.
I need to get more awareness through the schools.
Which would then also lead to your passion, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
Nick, are you able to join a board or not just yet?
Look, I'm not even I'm not even a licensed customs broker. So for me, I'm still inexperienced.
Okay.
So Peter's been around for, I'd say, for at least 30 years. I'm not even touching that. So if there was anyone that needs to be the perfect candidate to go on said board, it would have to be our director here.
Oh, you know, he will obviously have Nick will have a lot of feedback, and I know existing board members there have loved how the way Nick has conducted himself over his journey, especially recently coming out of Adelaide.
And that's also a reflection of how you have.
We're trying to bring him up
towards
as well, and it's
yeah.
not only him, but also with my wife Melinda, we've tried to bring him up, you know, the right way with, you know, with proper values and things like that. But this job will teach not only Nick, but everyone in here. My aim is to teach him the resilience and to understand everything, you know, that goes on out there in the big world. Because, look, we're dealing with retail. We're dealing with independent people. We're dealing with big mining companies. You know what I mean? I did stuff for Gina Reinhardt. I brought an electric train for her. People don't know that.
Wow.
You know, thinking, I haven't even met Gina Reinhardt, but if I call up the job, you'll see her. Electric
That's
train
awesome.
that I've customs cleared it. So they're my stories that I can tell people.
People like yourself should be on these boards.
Yeah, well, sometimes, I don't know how to take it. Maybe I'm a bit out there in the, I don't know.
Maybe that's what we need,
you know,
because that's what the Greek Centre's done. They've chosen people that are out there. They're within the different communities.
I'm very passionate. I know I can do a lot.
Yeah, you need to have a voice.
I
and
think our
if you're-
industry,
yeah.
it's missing a bit of X factor, and I think
Yeah.
Peter can bring that X factor in.
And I think
That's
they've just been happy to be the way they are for the moment. And then when someone comes along with a little bit of flair or something like that, wants to
Well,
shake
look,
it
a lot
up,
of people fear change.
that's what it is.
And it's also the fear of Peter's going to come in with his other expert knowledge and skill set and what he wants to do. We haven't thought about it, so that could be intimidating, but people can also look at it as a positive. You're saying, you know what, we could actually learn from Nick as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's what I think we all can learn from everyone.
From each other, that's
Yeah,
right.
the good thing about our industry that there's days where I might call into a fellow colleague for advice, second opinion, and that's the beauty about it. I still keep in contact with my friends that I first went to school in customs, and they're about my age now in the industry, and they work for big multinationals,
Wow.
if not running them. So just to give you an example, back in the day when I sat my customs exam to get my license, out of 30 in Victoria, only 5 passed. I was one of the 5.
Wow.
So you had to get over 80% pass rate. Things have changed now. They've done away with the exams. Now Nick has to go before a board, and the board will be sitting there and firing questions at you. And if you miss one, then they'll say, look, thank you. You might have to go back and read up on that again. Come back and see us another time. It's very difficult when you work in a bigger place and you're only doing one little part of everything. where I have exposure over food, like you said, alcohol, garments, cars, boats, keep on going.
Steel,
Steel. I can pretty much everything.
And a
You know?
plane.
chemicals, military defense.
Yeah, all the military stuff. So there's something, if they throw it out, I'll probably be able to grab it and say, I've got this. And that's what they want, because the role of a customs broker is you're in a corner in a room, you're expected to know everything. So
Yeah, especially if I don't know.
everyone's got to come, everyone that works there, 10, 20, 50, 100 people, can come to you comfortably and ask you, and you go, yep, go in there, do that, it's on that page, go there. That is the licensed broker advice, you know, like the lawyer, as I said.
That's right.
But some people are only content to work at a bigger organization and only do little courier little things, and are content to customs clear just books all day and press the button for books. And then when you have brandy coming in, I've never done brandy before, I don't know what to do. So this is where the
You've got a
little
broad
business
experience. Yeah.
pushes you out to have the exposure that you need. And that's why our teaching and learning here is fast-tracked. So a person of 5 years here, of our Peter Gavos School Academy, I call it, right, becomes equal to my 5 years in here with me, it will be 10 years out there.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Because you'll take it up with a 10-year person out there in the business. Because the phones ring, you pick it up, you become hello. You do an email, 1 email per second. You write the emails, you do your customs, you do your freight, you do your quarantine. You become an all-rounder in this place.
That's right.
And this is where, that's the beauty about it. But other places, you only do one part of it. I only do the delivery. Okay, what happens before the delivery? The boat comes first.
Yeah, and
You
then
know
there's
what I
a
mean?
lot of chasing and yeah.
You forget the supply chain equation. So we're start to finish.
Fantastic.
You can't understand the supply chain as a whole if you don't participate in the whole chain itself.
You got to get it.
You need to broaden your understanding in order to master.
You got to understand what it's about in the warehouse. You got to understand how to unpack containers, how to pack containers. You got to understand and respect the drivers that pick up these containers. Where's my, you know, people say, where's my delivery? Where's my, hang on, would you like to come with me? Because I took one client once, down to the wharf. 7 hours later, we're still in line.
Wow.
I'm never doing that again. I have a lot of respect for the drivers now. Now you really get what this person does.
And the abuse that they cop.
And the abuse that they, so this is all learnings, and the more you see, the more you get involved. I started off doing the runner job, which is take the original documents in the city with a check on it, pay the charges at the shipping line, get my receipt and come back to the airport, give it to the boss at the done, paid. That was the run. Now it's EFT.
Yeah, everything's changed now.
So all the couriers are gone in this industry. They're finished. There's no more couriers. We don't use couriers anymore. Everything's done via email. And obviously internet banking, no more checks.
That's right.
So that's changed along the years. But I had to learn that way, you know, run back, always pace. So now I have to be very meticulous with my time as well, because you only get 8 hours in a day, and the days are getting longer.
Well, I
You know?
also know you work longer hours than that, Nick.
I do, and with Nick and me and myself,
Yes, you do.
I put
And
a lot
it's
of demand on
virtually
it.
7 days a week.
Sometimes, yeah, I do.
If duty calls,
If duty calls, but I don't want to see anyone inconvenienced.
Thank you.
You know, that's how
So
we
guys, Gavos Freight Solutions, the one-stop shop. Thank you so much for your time, and I know
Thank you.
now.
Thank you for being part of this lovely day, lovely Friday.
Thank you, Nick. And Peter.
Oh, that's Peter.
It's
Yeah.
Peter, I'm Nick.
Thank you to both of you. And I know you said you get an email. You get one email every
Minute.
one
1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, back to work. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.